Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob for Smirking Gun Reviews. We are doing Castle Rock Season 1, Episode 3, Local Color. So, full spoilers are ahead, so if you haven't seen the episode, I recommend you go check it out. This is better than Episode 2. Stranger than hell at some parts. And gives me back some faith. Like, we're getting into it now. Okay, so we're at Episode 3 already, which means there are 7 episodes left. And if any indication by this episode is, yes, it will be getting better. That second episode, man, I think it just, whatever. Hopefully it was just a fluke of how boring it was. It was good, it just wasn't interesting all the way through. It just didn't have my attention. And one thing I want to bring up is Melanie Lynskey's Molly Strand last week. I didn't catch the empathetic part of what her power was all the time. When they were interviewing her in her room and they were saying it's warm in here, but her breath was cold. I wasn't realizing, I didn't put 2 and 2 together, that she's connected to Henry. So what he feels, she feels. They go into that in much greater detail this week, so it made me realize what the hell was going on there, why she is like so obsessed with him, why she was, and how him being back in her life is screwing things up because he's the loudest noise in the room. I like how they put that. I like that she has this power. It gives her, it gives the show something extra other than creepy eyes McGee sitting in Shawshank prison. So anyway, here we get the very beginning, which is great. And I was praying to God this wasn't going to be a dream sequence, because it just felt dreamlike the whole way. And so, no, for real, man, she killed dude's dad. Adopted dad, but she killed the dad, the pastor, the one that everybody thinks he killed. And while you might go, oh God, she killed this dude, but clearly because of her power, clearly because of her connection with Henry, that whatever happened out there in those woods, whatever connection they have, he was a bad person. She wouldn't have gone into his house and taken him off, the little breathing apparatus, if something that had happened wasn't bad on his level. She was killing him to save Henry. Or at least, in the very least, justice for Henry if they didn't find him and he died. Because nobody knew at this point where he was. So that was a really good beginning. So far, this show has some pretty good, solid beginnings. And so, since we spend a lot of time with her, her explaining to him, her power, and it felt very much like a Stephen King scene because of the dialogue. The dialogue in that scene with her and him talking when they were younger felt very much like Stephen King writing. If you rewatch it and you just kind of see the phrasing, you probably think I'm talking out of my ass, but it really did felt like Stephen King writing right there. And so, of course, maybe years later you wouldn't remember this conversation. I don't know. I happen to think that if one of my friends told me that they had psychic powers, it might be something that sticks with you. But being as how Henry, after the events of the woods and everything, after he went missing, maybe that kind of erased, again, going into memory erasure and resets. Maybe that's why he doesn't remember. So she is kind of having a bad day, Mally is, because she's kind of haunted by this thing. But she's also like the most successful real estate agent in town. But in a town like Castle Rock, that's probably like saying you've got the best gas station in town. There's just not much competition. Because it reminds me of like a place like Flint, Michigan and shit. Like just something that's just kind of used to be something and now is just dead. And if you don't work at the prison, you're nothing. Very, very depressing town. So she's supposed to go on this thing, but she's still got those problems and she needs her drugs. She goes to the kids to find them, but they're out, and they send her to this place where to find this guy named Derek. Uh, and this is just where I have no idea what they were thinking when it's not bad. It's just so goddamn weird. So she goes to this place where there's this adorable little kid, a little girl playing with I don't know, was it Christmas lights or just cords? And she points in the direction of where they're going. And I love Melanie Lynskey's reaction to the kid. Like, are you okay? Okay. Like, just. But then you get into there and you're hearing it sounds like a school play going on, but it's like they're reading, like a script from Law and Order SVU or something, because it's just not child appropriate at all. And they're all wearing these creepy ass paper mache masks, and they're just saying it with such purpose, and they're really passionate about whatever they're saying. And so I was just to me, get the fuck out of there, man. This is like Lord of the Flies in there. Bunch of kids like that, that's scared, that's creepy as hell. I don't know, I guess if you really badly need drugs, you'll put up with anything. So she goes in there. I mean, yeah, they are little kids, so I guess you shouldn't be afraid, but I don't know. You ever seen Children of the Corn or Village of the Damned? I mean, no. Get the hell out of there. But she goes in there, she wants her drugs. They insist she sits down and be a part of the play, which again made me think of Lord of the Flies. Just, and shit like that. And they end up pointing at her when they say there's a killer in the audience, which of course they were going to point at her because she killed somebody. But they don't know that. And so I don't know. I guess the whole thing was to get her up or whatever. So the guy that was the judge takes her to the death room or whatever. Now I kind of imagine, okay, these kids, if Shawshank is a huge part of the town, then they probably have heard their parents talking and have been in courtrooms and stuff where they've heard things. Because the one person says yeah, our dads all work at Shawshank and our moms are all drunk, or one of those versions. So this is where they go. She's like, all of you? Dang, this is what you do when your parents are at work? I mean, this has got to go down in like one of those stupid Watch Mojo videos of top 10 weirdest scenes of the year in TV or movies. So the kid takes her in there, into this other place where he's got the oxycodone that she wants or whatever. And he tells her, $3 or 3 pills for $40 or $60, and I want to see your tits. And she's like, I mean, he just says, that's so weird. And then the cops show up. And so it makes her day worse. And it kind of just makes me wonder, why did they go through all this for the end result to be the cop? What was the point of that bizarre scene right before this? Why couldn't we just get to the drug transaction that gets stopped by the cops? But whatever. It's something we can't unsee now. So she ends up getting arrested. Meanwhile, Henry has been, trying to figure out how to get in contact with this dude in the jail, Creepy Eyes McGee. And they're he's got his inside man, the guard, which I can't believe they haven't figured out who the inside man is if they're looking for leaks. So he's giving him information of what this guy's up to. He's staring at Terry O'Quinn's picture on the wall, so he knows that's a connection there, but they really don't have nothing. I mean, the guy doesn't talk, the guy doesn't eat. So anyway, earlier Henry had talked to Molly about selling his mom's house because he's making some changes and she can't be alone and blah blah blah, but she won't help him because whenever he's around, that's all she hears. She hears all the voices, the strongest song, which again was really great. That she talks about in a minute. So she kind of blows him off. She's got places to go. This is right before she goes on her little drug trip. So later he sees that he finds out that she's in jail because he's in the jail talking about trying to get information uh, about the crime scene where the warden had killed himself. He's looking for DNA of his client, and they don't want to give it to him. Another small town ignorant cop situation, just like Sharp Objects. Like, I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of shows of like some small town bullcrap right now. I'm just kind of annoyed with it, but whatever. It is a small town. It's just a setting. I don't know, whatever. So he knows she's there. He gets her out of jail, bails her out, and this is where she tells him more, like the backstory here that whenever I'm around you, it's like you get that song in your head and you can't get it out. It's like the Bee Gees. So I don't know why she picked the Bee Gees, but that's great. That's funny. It's good. It's random. And so that's where you should click that, she, whatever she's been hearing in his head, when he was younger and stuff, and when they show like the matches and stuff like that and how she burned herself too, like it's really cool. They have a connection, and now he's back. She's afraid that she's going to be having more freakouts. She's not going to be able to function again. But she's already kind of not functioning, and she's seeing shit. She had that part with the dream of, the people with the wrapped up faces in the church and everything. That was creepy too. That was another really good creepy scene. I'm sorry I missed it until now, but so the guilt that she has of doing this, even if she felt at the time it was right, and she's supposed to go on TV to discuss like changing, Castle Rock, and he gets her car and they go to the thing. They have no time, so he's really a nice guy. He really wants to help her out. But of course, when she gets on there, not of course, but when she gets on there, she can't function. She puts on the glasses. She doesn't know how to tune things out. She doesn't know how to talk, and all of a sudden, all the voices that are in, the things that Henry's been thinking about all come out. And she talks about the guy that's in the prison, that's been there, habeas corpus, like no reason to have him there. So she inadvertently helps Henry, screws over inadvertently the warden, and all the things they're trying to hide about this guy all come out right on live TV. I love how she says it. It is a very Melanie Lynskey kind of speech. If you've ever seen things where she gets frustrated and they usually give her a great kind of she's had it moment. She's had them before on shows. Even on, God forgive me, I'm going to say 2.5 Men, she has had those kind of moments where they give her something, power. Like Melanie has that good, I've had enough kind of speech, range, except this is just, she has to get it out so she can clear her head. So now there's no reason, the warden brings Henry in, tries to buy him off, and that won't work. Not initially. He's kind of like blowing them off. He needs to talk to him. So he finally gets to go see Creepy Eyes McGee, and again, the guy is like, look, they don't give him any dialogue. They just basically tell him to act like a living statue with really crazy eyes. And he's telling him about the game plan and, hey, we can get more out of this and yada, yada, yada. Now, here's what I'm thinking. This will be the last thing before the episode. Oh, well, real quick before I get to that. We'll talk about Melanie Lynskey going back to her house, Molly Strand. It's trashed. There's clearly somebody in the house, or something is making noise. Okay, this is where you call the cops. You may have just been in jail, but doesn't mean you don't get to call the cops. Don't go looking around the house with a knife. You're gonna get yourself fucking killed. But she does, and she steps on the glass upstairs, the broken light bulb. Okay, fine. If at first you go, all right, I'm gonna go check this shit out. Fine. Under all the rules of everything, you don't do that, but fine. You go upstairs. The second you step on the glass of the light bulb and you let everything or whatever that is in the house know where you are, hi, it's time to do it. Get out. Get the fuck out of your house. Run out of your house. No. Instead, we'll go looking further. And this was a tense scene still. Like looking around, I kept waiting for the jump scare. Doesn't come. And then you just get that great, like, she kind of barely moves and there's something right there. Just barely, but it's there. And it's not enough to freak, give yourself a panic attack or anything, but you go, oh fuck. and then she turns around and it's there. And that is a good scare. Because it's just that wrapped up face thing, and is it there, is it not there? She runs, she can't close the door, and then it's gone. So that was good. But going back now to the jail, this is where I think we're headed with the kid in the jail, okay? So Creepy Eyes McGee and Henry, I feel like we're in a Primal Fear situation. Now, Primal Fear was a Richard Gere movie with an Edward Norton movie back in the 90s. And I feel like where we're headed is, and this also goes to like a season 2 kind of thing, where there probably will be a season 2 of this show because of where I think we're headed with this. So, Terry O'Quinn's warden character is tired of his town being, just having all these terrible things happen to it, like that have happened throughout every Stephen King book that they mentioned, the thing that happened in Castle Rock. He finds out, he gets some however it came to him, whether it was God or fucking aliens or goddamn chuds. He finds this thing, creepy eye guy, puts him in his cage, keeps him down there, and while he's locked up, it's supposed to be everything is all good. Okay. But why? These are the things, there are gaps in here that we're going to have to find out about. But why did you kill yourself and know that somebody would be finding him and letting him out if he's never supposed to see the light of day? Okay. So here we go. Then whatever the reasons that we're going to find out later, the lawyer's going to help get this guy out, and we're going to get into a Primal Fear situation where the lawyer who thinks he's helping getting somebody who's been mistreated out of jail is going to turn around and be that force that you never should have gone against. He's going to be set loose on the town instead of protecting the town. And that the second season will probably have to do with how to stop this now that it's out, now that the genie's out of the bottle. Again, if that's the case, there are some problems with that idea, but if it still goes about, and that's how it ends up, then that's a problem on their end that they should have thought about. Like, why did they even keep this guy around? Why didn't they just kill him? But I do feel like that's where we're headed. Where the guy who never speaks is suddenly gonna be like, yeah, there's a reason why I was down there, There's a reason why he never let me out. And I feel like that's where we're headed. But maybe I'm wrong. So anyway, that's all I got for this. It is much better this episode. It gives me faith again in the show, even though we're only 3 episodes in. And I didn't mean to have a dip there, but that, like I said, episode 2 was just very uninteresting. When I'm on my phone while an episode that I haven't seen is on, it means that I'm not clicking with it. So anyway, can't wait for episode 4. That looks really cool. So, if you like this video, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. Why not? We're at 172 subscribers. And hit the bell if you want notifications. We've got Man in the High Castle I've been reviewing. We got comic reviews later. I'm going to be doing a couple of Waited for Blu-ray movie reviews today and tomorrow. So we got a lot of stuff coming. We got my Walking Dead video I posted a couple of days ago. We guys got a whole bunch of stuff. I got a bunch of playlists on there, so check out the videos if you like. Otherwise, this is Rob from Smirking Gun Reviews saying we will see you on the next video, and have a great day. Bye.